From Hart High School, Dillon, Zamperin, and Kaylee Tolentino present the Hart to Hart Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Hart to Hart Podcast.
I'm your co-host, Vinny Gonzales.
And I'm your host, Dillon Zamperin, and today we are joined by Mr. Borish, one of our amazing math teachers here at Hart.
So, welcome, Mr. Borish, to the Hart to Hart Podcast.
Thanks. Pleasure to be here.
So please tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up? Where did you go to college? And when did you move to Santa Clarita?
Sure. So my name is Greg Borish. I grew up in Seattle, Washington, and I lived there until I was 17 and went off to college. I went to college at Harvey Mudd College, which is in Claremont, about an hour east of here. And then following that, I went up to Stanford for a year and a half to get my master's degree and teaching credential. So that was in 2009, and then I was looking for a job, and Hart High School was the first one to offer me a job. So I packed up my bags and my computer and moved down to Santa Clarita to start at Hart in the fall of 2009.
All right. What was your first class that you taught? Did you have a few different classes?
Yeah. So my first class, I still remember like it was yesterday. It was AP Calc AB period. Well, it was period 1, period 2 back then. Now what we call period 1. And my first year, I taught Calc AB, Algebra 1, and then also Algebra 2 Trig.
And what do you teach now?
I'm currently teaching AP Calculus BC, Honors Algebra 2 Trig, and AP Computer Science A.
Okay. So I feel like you've hit every grade level, like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So do you have a favorite grade level maybe to teach?
That's a good question. Probably juniors, but I don't really have a strong preference so much. Yeah. I think juniors are just kind of like at a really good point in their life where they're really just on the cusp of their senior year, kind of about to really get started with college, but they don't really kind of get jaded. Mm-hmm. And I feel like a lot of seniors kind of by the end of their career kind of jaded, maybe a little like burnt out a little bit. And junior years are really like important thing, and they're mature, they're intelligent, they're hardworking, they have their routines kind of built in by that point. But you know, I'm really fine teaching all grades. I don't have any strong preferences.
The juniors like lock in during that time. I feel like that year, most of them, I think.
Yeah.
Who or what inspired you to become a math teacher?
Gosh, I don't really have a good question, a good answer to that question. I've always been a huge math person. Just, from as early as I can remember, math has been one of my best topics, easily my best topic. And I didn't really know what I was going to major in going to college. I knew it'd be something math sciencey, but I love physics too. Engineering was intriguing. I found biology really interesting. I always knew I wanted to study something kind of math or sciencey. And I tried a lot of things out in college. E&M really kind of destroyed my love of physics. I took an intro to engineering class, hated that. I thought computer science was fine, but I really, really fell in love with my math classes. And, just kind of thinking about what I wanted to do, I looked into a lot of different careers. At that time, what was I doing? I was tutoring just some local high school kids, just as kind of my college job, just to, make spending money and gas money or whatever. And I realized how much I enjoyed working with that age group. I just think high school is kind of at this great age of students where they're mature enough that you can do interesting math and do cool stuff, but like they're still young enough that their life path is not fixed. Mm-hmm. And I can really make a big impact on a 16-year-old and kind of help guide them and prepare them for college. And it's just kind of a really good point.
Yeah.
So I was kind of thinking about what I wanted to do with my math degree. I've always loved mathematics and I've always kind of enjoyed and been pretty good at explaining it to others. And it just sounded like something that would be fun to me. So I thought I'd give it a try.
Nice. Okay. We're going to do one last question.
Sure.
What is your number one favorite thing about Hart?
Yeah, I think it's the people. The kids here are wonderful, but it's not just that, it's the adults. Even though I spend most of my day working with the students, I love my coworkers. I've made so many long, good, meaningful friendships just from working with them for so long. I look forward to seeing my students every day. I look forward to seeing my teacher friends at lunch. I look forward to just hanging out with people at staff meetings and stuff. And it's so cool just being a part of a community too. And this will be true, just at any school if you work there for a long time. I've been at Hart for 16 years, but it's just so freaking cool to like teach someone where they're the third or fourth member of their family that I've taught, or I taught their uncle or their cousin or something like that. And I've been here long enough that it's not going to be too long until I'm teaching my students' kids, and that'll be pretty wild too. So it's fun, Dillon, I taught your sister, and it's really cool to kind of see that family tradition and really get to know a family, and then a community.
Yeah.
You know, I
Definitely,
live
yeah.
I live in Hart districts boundaries too. You know, like my kids are zoned to go to Hart. Obviously, they're a little young right now. They're 1 and 4, but it's cool that like
Soon, yeah.
yeah, another couple years. But it's cool that like the people on my street go to Hart, and
Definitely.
yeah, it's nice to be part of a community like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it that we have for today. Thank you, Mr. Borish, for being on the podcast.
Thanks
you.
for having me, and thanks for calling me amazing at the start. I really appreciate that.
Of course. Make sure to watch the full episode on the Hart TV YouTube channel.
Or wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Vinny Gonzales.
And I'm Dillon Zamperin, and we'll catch you on the next episode of the Hart to Hart podcast.